Alright guys, welcome to big number 12, and in this lesson what we're going to be talking about is the in and not in statements. So say we were working on this awesome database and the police come storming in the door and they're like, Bucky, we just caught the murderer. And I'm like, what murderer? Who the heck murdered anyone? And he's like, don't worry about it. Anyways, they're in your database and we know that they either live in California, North Carolina, or New York. Can you give us a list of all those suspects? So you were like, heck yeah, select name and state from customers where, and we're like, hold on, we typed that wrong. I'm gonna have to type that again. Where state equals, and we're like, what's your list? Because we forgot. California or state equals North Carolina or state equals New York. And we're just going to go ahead and say, okay, just go ahead and let me run this query, and bam, there is your list. And he's like, yeah, okay, wait, hold on. Did you just say something? Sorry, I fell asleep. That query took way too long to type, and check it out. We only have 3 options here, but if we were to have more states, then look at this query. It's going to get very messy, and, you know, with 3 options, that's all it took. But what if we wanted, to include 10 or 15 states? Then things would get really complicated. So I'm going to show you guys a shortcut. Whenever you need to use a bunch of or statements, you can just use the statement in, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit select name, and I think we selected state from customers where state. Now the very first thing you do is you give it the condition to search for. I want to search for a bunch of different states. So I want to search for state in. Now right after in, go ahead and type parentheses, and instead of making a whore, did I just say whore? I am sorry. I apologize to all the slutty moms out there. Shouldn't have said that. That's why, people don't let my tutorials be watched in college or high school or anything. Because sometimes I just say inappropriate things like that. But anyways, after in, we're going to give it a huge list. For example, CA, or what was my next one? NC, and I think it was New York, if I'm correct. Or NY. Now, that's basically all we do. So as you can see, instead of making 3 different or statements, we just go ahead and say, okay, where the state is in California, North Carolina, or New York. And then we just go ahead and hit go and check it out. Exact same results, except we didn't have to use all of those or statements. Now typically whenever you are searching for a bunch of different things in the list, then you add a condition just to order it at the end. It just makes it organized a little bit better. So we would probably want to order this by state, and now check it out. This is just going to make it a little bit prettier. So as you can see, instead of saying, okay, search for all the people who live in California, North Carolina, or New York, even though we're basically searching for 3 different or test, we can just go ahead and make one test with a list of all the states, and it makes it a whole lot easier. Now, say that the police was like, oh, you know what? In fact, I figured out that the suspect, the one we were trying to catch, he actually does not live in these 3 states. He must live in the other 47 states. So can you give me a list of all the suspects who live in the other 47 states? And you may be thinking, oh crap. So before we learn about this nice little in thing, we might have to make a huge or list that says or Arkansas or Alabama, and we would have to list 47 or statements. However, check this out. If we want to say, okay, search for all the people who do not live in these 3 states, all we have to do is do this. Guys, this is probably the coolest thing I ever taught you. Not in California, North Carolina, or New York. How awesome is that? So isn't that a whole lot easier than making 47 or statements? Basically, whenever we want to search for customers who do not live in any of these states, then instead of in, where it would be the opposite, they would have to live in these states, just go ahead and type not. Now you're gonna see this not only when you're working with lists, but whenever you put not before any testing condition, it pretty much reverses the test. So we could have something, well, I'll show you guys tests later on, but now let me just go ahead and run this query real quick and check it out. We now get a list of all the customers who do not live in these 3 states. In other words, we get a list of all the customers who live in the other 47 states. So first of all, that police officer isn't doing a very good job because, there's a lot of people left who live in 47 states. So, they need to kind of brush up on their work a little bit. But anyways, what we are worried about are these queries. So basically, like I said, whenever you want to use a bunch of OR statements, you can just use in and then type a list in parentheses instead, and it does the exact same thing. It just makes it a whole lot easier. Or whenever you want to exclude a list or use something like not in, just go ahead and type the keyword not in, and then make sure to put all your options in a list. And guys, another key thing, make sure not to forget the parentheses because it's very important. So there you go, there you have it. That is what in and not in does. Basically, takes a bunch of OR statement and cleans them up, makes them a whole lot easier. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.